Hello, good morning.
Welcome to
Welcome to
Bilingual Fufu ポッドキャストへようこそ。
What are we talking about today?
今日は
Nothing.
ダルくんが思う日本人の不思議なところについて教えてもらいます。
Oh, really?
はい。
It's new news to me. I didn't know that. Cool. Let's start with that. You have like a more specific question, or should I just randomly?
でじゃあ私日本人のパートナーといて、なんか不思議だなって思ったことでも葵に対して葵不思議だなって思ったことでもいいし、日本に行った時に、本当に不思議な人種だなって思ったことでもいいし。
Well, first of all, I just want to say that, Dan, when I talk about this, that like everyone is weird.
Yeah.
I'm very weird compared to most Americans, so anything that I say is not going to be like, oh, Japanese people are so weird, right?
I know.
But that said,
何でしょうか?
You want me to start with you specifically or Japanese people?
どっちもいいよ。
All right. Well, one thing that was weird to adjust to when I was in Japan was body language was different.
Body language?
Yeah. Because I studied a lot of body language, like teburi, miburi, 姿勢, like how you walk, how you present.
面白い.
And just noticing, because I studied it a lot in the US, learning communication and public speaking and that kind of thing. And when I went to Japan, I noticed how different it was. Differences in the way people look at each other, differences in the way people point at things, you know, even just the hand stuff, like you don't point at somebody with your finger, or you don't have your palm up when you say, come here. Right? If your hand
逆だよね。
down.
おいでの手の仕草ね。
Right. And when you point to somebody, it's like with an open hand, it's not like with a finger.
確かに。
When you meet somebody, you usually don't hug them, or like usually you don't even shake their hand, you like keep a distance. Whereas in the US, it's common for me to like hug people that I meet for the first time, you know? And so there's some parts of that I think are really nice, some parts of that I personally think are a little bit like, they're very professional, very distant, and I think that's a little bit sad sometimes because, you know, humans like hugs. It's not a cultural thing, like humans like hugs. So I don't know. Sometimes I wished I could like hug more people and not have them think I'm like trying to date them or something. But
そうだね。確かに言われてみたらこんなに違ったんだね、ボディーラングエッジが。
Yeah. Yeah, or even just like when you say me or I. In America, we point to us in our chest. We point to our heart. Whereas in Japan, you like point to your face.
あ、やる。
Right?
それ面白い。なんか自分がっていう時、だいたい日本人は今言ったのは顔ってか首か顔のあたり。けどアメリカの方とかはそのチェスト、胸、だよね。お腹ってか胸とか、そのあたりを指すから、それ面白いだろうくん。I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a lot of really interesting like religious history and symbolism and that kind of stuff that goes into how and why we understand ourselves and the world and culture and stuff differently, but we don't need to get into that. I would just lecture for hours, but it's very interesting. There's also a lot of interesting differences in the way we think about everything, really, but especially like language and time and thing like ideas like God and religion, all kinds of stuff in that realm are interesting. But if I try to stay with really normal grounded stuff, maybe let me see if I can flip it on you for a second. Can you think of any American 不思議なところ? そう、日本人とアメリカ人のそのおいでは上と下で逆なんだよね。だからアメリカ人のおいでは日本人にとってそっち行けの指になるから、なんか私とお母さんが一緒になんかお話ししてて日本語で会話してた時に彼がなんかこっち来てくださいかそっち出てくださいかわからなくなって私はなんか日本語でダルさんはやってるのかそれともアメリカのそのカルチャーの染みついた体でやってるのか分からなくて、とりあえず私は近づいて、でお母さんは離れてってなんか二人でみたいになった時は本当に面白いと思って、ごめんね。
で葵とママでどっちでダルくんに聞くのそう行く方なんだろう。ごめんなさい、ももさん。なんだろうな。シャワーかな。
Oh, Oh, yeah.
ね、
Oh my God, yeah.
日本人はやっぱり1日2回とか1回とか頭は絶対その日に
Right.
洗うから、それはアメリカ人の女性にとっては多いみたいで、みんな1週間に1回とか、なんかドライシャンプーっていうスプレーがあるんだけど、それをよく使ってたりとかする人も多くて。
Yeah,
なん
and
か
again, everyone's different.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it depends where you live and what you do and how
Right.
type of hair you have and stuff. But
あと浴槽も
yeah,
浸かる文化が少ないし、なんかそのお風呂ルーティンは全然違うと思う。
yeah.
Yeah.
One thing that is becoming a lot more common nowadays and is the way that I do it that surprises a lot of people is I haven't used soap in years. And just hearing that, most people are like, oh my God, you must be very stinky and crazy.
くっせーと思われて
Am
る
I stinky, Aoi?
じゃないのさ。なんでだろうね。なんかソープなしで生きてるの。
Right. Even my hair is fine. It's nice and soft all the time, right?
ベ
Feel
ッド
it?
ベッドじゃないし、
Very nice, right?
臭くないし。
I haven't used shampoo in over a year. I just use hot water and cold water.
信じられない。
And I mean both, like very hot and very cold. That's all I need.
ねえ、信じられないよね。私のパートナー本当にシャンプー使わないんですよ。
It's not just me though. I know lots of guys that do this.
いやいや。
It takes
でも、
time to train your body to get back to normal balance, but
そうそう。
once you do, I think it's so worth it. Like my skin is better, my hair is better, everything is
Yeah.
better. I'm not like rubbing a ton of random chemicals all over my body all the time.
なんかすごくいいと思うけど、やっぱり人によっては、それが、頭洗うのが当たり前だった人からしたらさ、
Mm-hmm.
って
Right.
感じになるから。
Yeah.
まあでも、興味ある人はやってみてください。
Yeah. Or at least consider looking at more natural options. I think the idea of filling your skin with chemicals every day is probably not great for your
ね、
balance.
逆に臭くなったりするよね。
Right.
いっぱいワックスとかいっぱいその髪の毛の、
Yeah.
ソープとかが
Yeah.
ついてる状態だと頭皮が臭くなったりする
Right.
人多いと思うし。まあでもね、なんかアメリカ人っぽいこの根っこみたいな柔らかい毛の毛質だからできるのもあるかもしれないよ。
Maybe, yeah.
いや、なんか日本人の髪の毛だったらちょっと硬くて重くて。 だから、まあでも、
Yeah.
いいと思う。
But going back to like weird, fun things about the differences, I remember when I was staying with a host family, maybe I've already told this story on the podcast, I don't remember, but I was told during this internship program about this, but I totally forgot about it when the actual moment came. Basically, we were all hanging out. I think it was like the first night that I arrived with them, and we were all staying up really late playing cards, and me and my little host brother were like playing video games and stuff, and we were all talking. And then at one point the mom asked like, Dalton, do you want to go shower, go take a bath? And this was all in Japanese because fortunately I spoke Japanese pretty well at the time. And I was like, I'm good for now, thank you though. Like if you want to go first, I was asking the younger sisters if they wanted to go or something, and they're like, oh, it's okay. And then we just kept talking, and we kept talking for another like 30, 40 minutes before she was like, hey, Dalton, do you want to go take a bath? And I was like, I'm okay, actually. I think I'll just shower in the morning if that's okay. And it took me a while before I realized like, oh yeah, this is one of those Japanese things. Like I'm the guest, so I've got to go first or else they're not going to go to bed. So
本当にこの話何回聞いても面白い。なんか今言ってたのはホストファミリーの家で泊まってる時に、やっぱりそのファーストナイトだったの。
I think so, yeah.
で、初めての夜の日に、なんかお風呂どうぞ沸かしてるので入ってくださいみたいなホストママが言った時に、その日本人のお母さんが、彼にそうやって言ったけど、彼はその流れをわからなくて、いい、全然最後で、それでずっと何時間も見送ってたらしいんだけど、その夜にあれはなんか日本人のそのおもてなしのやつで。
Because I knew about it. Like somebody told me before, like, oh, I had this experience with my host family and don't forget, like make sure you just take a shower first, just do it and make them happy. And I forgot about it for a while, for a couple hours. And then I was like, oh shit, right. That's one of those rules that like I'm supposed to go first.
その夜に気づいたっていうね。
I think we bonded really quickly though, fortunately. We got along really well. So after the first night or two, they just stopped caring. It was like
いいねいいね。
the girls just went first and did their own thing, and
Nice.
Yeah, they didn't care as much.
はあ、面白いね。そういうのも。
Japanese people don't eat outside. They don't eat while they're walking, right?
Huh?
If you don't eat while you're walking around town. It doesn't make a difference here. Like nobody cares. You can carry food around town and eat and like it doesn't matter. Whereas in Japan, there's no trash cans anywhere, first of all, so you can't even throw anything away if you try to. And second of all, like everybody looks at you like you're crazy if you try to eat food while you're walking around, unless you're at like a festival of some sort or something.
確かにかなわかんない。それは。
Eating and standing?
なんかコンビニとかがあるからさ、よく食べてる人見た気がする。
I usually see people like sitting down or squatting down or standing right outside of the コンビニ。They don't eat and walk.
確かにね。
At least very, very rarely.
で、昨日ドライブしてて思ったけど、なんか車の中でお弁当みたいなのを食べながら運転してるアメリカ人多くてびっくりしたのね。
Really?
いや、それでなんか運転集中できなくなって途中。なんか後ろの車の人めっちゃ食べてんじゃんみたいな。なんかめっちゃ食べながら運転してて、なんかお弁当じゃないけどなんかボールをかき混ぜながら食べて運転して食べてる。
That's awesome.
忙しそうとか思ったけど。
It's kind of scary.
いや、怖いよね。なんかそのアメリカ人の行動とか、あとリンゴ。そのまま丸かじりして歩いてる人とかは、うわ、めっちゃアメリカのアニメじゃんみたいな。
Right.
アメリカのアニメ、カートゥーンじゃん。って思った。し、落ちてるし、ちゃんとそのリンゴを周りかじった、その後のゴミのリンゴ、芯だけが残ってるリンゴが道にいっぱい落ちてる。アメリカ。冬でも雪の上にボンってそれが落ちてる。
Really? Where did you see that?
穴場で。
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
だから、わかんない。カレッジエリアなのかわかんないけど。
It's probably because it was a college town, yeah. And there's a lot of other stuff we could get into, especially around like school and work and stuff, but a lot of that stuff is maybe for a separate conversation.
恋愛もあるしね。
Oh, wow, yeah. That's a whole world of difference. Like,
そう。昨日。
告白。
いや、昨日話したけどさ、なんか彼らは、外国の方は、なんか恋愛だと思ってなくても、いや、ご飯行こうよって二人、女子と男子二人でご飯いっぱい行ったりするけど、なんか、やっぱり日本人の感覚だとデートだと思って準備していく。前の仲良しの時間が少なくてもそれ誘ってきたら、デートだって思うのは当たり前なのに、やめて違うって思われるのが、なんかその国際恋愛みたいなので多いって聞いたから。
A lot of that is just like communication failures. But definitely, I think culturally it's probably less common to have like guy and girl friends. But I think if a man can communicate well enough what he intends and what he means, then it's not going to be an issue. So if you're listening to this, just communicate. Just be good communicators and you'll never have any issues in any of your relationships.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. That was 不思議なところ。There's probably more we could talk about.
もっともっとある。だからナンバー2出してもいいね。いつか。あおちゃんのここ信じられないからみんな聞いて。ってきっと言い出すと思うし。でしょ？ Oh my goodness, あおちゃんってずっと言う。私がなんかするために。You're so Japanese って。最近減ったけど、付き合った最初の時とかめっちゃ言われた。
Yeah, I don't say that anymore. I don't think it's nice.
毛剃ってなくて、葵が、腕見ないでとか言って、Oh my goodness! アメリカのガールはそれ普通剃らないし気にしないよとか言われる。はあ、面白い。そんな感じです。
Thanks for listening.
ありがとう。
And follow us on Instagram, say hi, message us, let us know what you think, let us know if you have any questions. Bye bye.
Bye bye. ありがとう。